it's daytime or nighttime, Kriya Shema is a mitzvah at that time. Daytime or nighttime, wherever you might see yourself. What does Kriya Shema have to do with this week's parsha? What does Kriya Shema have to do with this week's parsha? So you might quote a Rashi at the end of the, towards the end on Am Kalavi Yakum, but there's a Gemara. The Gemara Maseches Brachas. You remember the Gemara Maseches Brachas on Daf Yud Gimel Amabeis, Yud Beis Amabeis, sorry, Yud Beis Amabeis. The Gemara says that they weren't sure originally which parshios to put the Kriyat Shema. Which parshios should make up Kriyat Shema? So we now know it's the 2 or 3. Says the Gemara. Ikesh Likvoa Parshas Balak the Kriyat Shema. They wanted to put Parshas Balak in Kriyat Shema. Whoa, Parshas Balak? Why? Why they want to put Parshas Balak? Because Rashi quotes, and it's a similar pasuk to Ubishachbecha Ubikumecha. What does it say? Hara Shachav, right? Like the Bnei Yisrael go to sleep and wake up. Why didn't they? Tircha de Tibura. Imagine having to lane Parshas Balak every time you say Kriyat Shema. Very long. So that's why they were not kobeayit. There was a havamina that it should be part of Kriyat Shema. There must be some message of Kriyat Shema and Parshas Balak. Sam Sofer, I think I mentioned this in past years. Sam Sofer mentioned once that Parshas Balak is, and this is good even for Bnei Chutz La'aretz, because you also have Parshas Balak this week. Excellent. The Sam Sofer says that Parshas Balak is the proof to Torah Min HaShamayim. Torah Min HaShamayim, the proof is Parshas Balak. What does it mean, Parshas Balak? How do we know what Bilam was thinking? How do we know the whole plan of Balak and cursing the Jews? And how do we know the whole story? Every other story in the Torah has to do with Jews and people who would have told us the story. Bilam and Balak, they hated us. How do we know the whole story? That's a raya that Torah Min HaShamayim. Says the Chassam Sofer, this parsha is the raya that Torah is Min HaShamayim. Okay, amazing. But either way, the Balak has to do with Tzias Mitzrayim a little bit at the beginning, as we just said. That Balak would have been part of Kriya Shema, and towards the end as well, Rashi also quotes. But again, it's a mitzvah that we should spend more time on. It's a mitzvah daraisa. We don't do so many mitzvahs daraisa these days. Right? How many mitzvahs daraisa are there possible? How many mitzvahs are l'maisa b'zman hazeh? How many? Smak only wrote. Let me get my smak. 1 second. I'm still here. I'm sorry, I'm using it in a chair for tomorrow morning, so I put it in the wrong file. The smak. Here's the smak. Says the smak only counts mitzvahs he thinks that are noig b'zman hazeh. How many mitzvahs are noig b'zman hazeh? Altogether, the smak thinks 282. 282. And assays, that includes assays and los assays. There aren't so many. Kriya Shema is one of them. And Kriya Shema is a defining one, as we'll see. So I'd like to speak about one point that maybe we don't always focus on, and that is Berachos Kriya Shema. Berachos Kriya Shema. And the type of brachos they are, we say it twice a day. We should try to appreciate what we're supposed to be thinking about during the brachos. Otzer or Ava Rabba. At night, Avas Olam. I think I mentioned, Chazon Ish once said that any achievement that he had in Torah in his life is due to the kavana that he had during Ava Rabba. Unbelievable. Imagine they say, there was one yeshiva that somebody once told me, that Shavuos morning, Ava Rabba took 20 minutes. Shavuos morning. I don't know if that was by the Ashkava Minyan. I don't think anybody would have. Maybe it was a yeshiva, so I don't think you do that in shul. But on a daily, you read the words of Ava Rabba. It's unbelievable. It's emotional. Such beautiful words. We just rush through it because we're davening, and we don't have any patience. But we should recognize the power of it. But anyway, looking at it as a unit, we're not going to focus on one of them. The Rambam tells us. Well, first the Gemara. Source number 1. Those of you who have the sheets. The Gemara tells us in Maseches Brachos Daf Chaf Aleph that what if I don't remember if I say Kriya Shema or not? Safik Kara Kriya Shema, Safik Lo Kara Kriya Shema. What's the halacha? You have to say Kriya Shema. Ozer Kara Kriya Shema. I don't remember if I said it. Or let's say It happens once in a while. We're all human. I'm in the middle of Kriyat Shema, and I'm finishing up. And I don't know if I'm finishing the first paragraph or the second paragraph. We all think, oh, that's never happened to me. That's the, I'm always focused. I always know exactly what I've said. Oh, once in a while, maybe it's never happened to us. But what if somebody comes and asks us, what is the halacha? So, Safik Kara Kriyat Shema, Safik you did it Bisman, whatever it is, so you have to read it again. And the Rambam quotes that in Ilchos Kriyat Shema. Safik Kara Kriyat Shema, Safik Lo Kara, Choser Kore. But then he adds, Umevarech Lefanehu Lachareha. And you have to say Birchas Kriyat Shema also. When you repeat the Kriyat Shema, you have to say Birchas Kriyat Shema. So that is what's controversial in our first question. Because usually the rule is, if there's a suffix about a mitzvah, you do the mitzvah, you don't make the bracha. Right? There's a chash bracha levatala, a bracha she'eina tzricha. So fine, you do the mitzvah. Let's say you don't remember if you shake a lulav or not. You shake a lulav, you don't make a bracha on the lulav. The bracha is not ma'akev. I gave you 3 examples. There are more. The Rambam and Ilchos Tzitzis. Someone who is Rambam Paskins, somebody who is pater from tzitzis cannot make a bracha on tzitzis. Let's say a woman would put on tzitzis. She's not allowed to make a bracha on tzitzis. If a woman sits in a sukkah, doesn't make a bracha on sukkah. That's the Rambam Shita, and that's the Sfardim's minhag, the Shulchan Aruch. The Rambam says, what if you're a Suffolk person? Tumtum, an androgynous. Don't know if you're a man or a woman. Chayav and Mekuban, yeah. A tumtum androgynous has to wear tzitzis because Chayav misafik, in mevarchin. But no bracha. Because maybe they're not obligated. Because Mila. You're not sure if somebody's obligated to Mila. No bracha. Because Shchita. You're not sure if an animal is Chayiv and Kisui Hadam or not. Right? We know Kisui Hadam is only for Chayos and Ophos, not Hemos. Not the Hemos. Says the Rambam. Kilayim abami behem of a chayiv chem birya. She's something behem of chaya. What birya is that? The Gemara calls it. I don't know what the real translation is, but I always said koi. That's how I learned it, and that's how what my Rebbeim said. Some people once said, "Isn't it heavy or kvi?" I don't know. I don't know if we know what the original. It's a animal that we. I guess we'll have to answer Ravina and Ravachi. Maybe Bana Beit HaMikdash and Tchias HaMeisim. We'll have to ask the proper translation. Anyway, so it's a suffix chayes behema. You do kisi adam, you don't make a bracha on kisi adam. That's the rule. So whenever you have a suffix, you do the mitzvah, you don't make a bracha. And all of a sudden, by Kriyat Shema, you say Kriyat Shema with the brachas. With the brachas. So why is that? That's question number 1. Something unique. The Lechem Mishnah asked that question. Lechem Mishnah in source number 6. Lechem Mishnah says why? Because you see at the end, Yesh lo taretz v'kagamna Yesh lo safek v'Kriyat Shema Shimin HaTorah. You can royal levarach brachos v'likros Kriyat Shema Shimin HaTorah. Well, Kriyat Shema itself is daraisa, so you say the brachas is the brachas too. But what do you mean? Meal is daraisa, and tzitzis is daraisa, and kisi adam is daraisa. What does that mean? You should do the mitzvah kitikuna. Kitikuna. What does that mean? That's all question 1. Question 2. The Sefer HaChinuch. He talked about the mitzvah of Kriyat Shema, which I didn't give you the whole thing. We'll do some of it more later. He talks about the parshios of Kriyat Shema, and then he also mentions the brachos of Kriyat Shema. Why is the Chinuch mentioning the brachos? The brachos Kriyat Shema, isn't that just Rabbanon, separate takana? The Chinuch follows the Rambam. You don't count rabbinic mitzvos. Why does the Chinuch feel the need to tell us that Birchas Kriyat Shema are part of Kriyat Shema? Right? The Rabbanon don't make it in. So why does he mention it here? Number 3. There is a Rav Haigon, quoted in Rabbeinu Yonah, the beginning of Brachas, in source number 9. One second. Where are we here? Oh, I skipped. I'm sorry. In the rush. Source number 8. Somebody's saying Kriyat Shema. He's reading in the Torah, and then it comes time for Kriyat Shema. The Mishnah begins the second parak, discusses, did he have kavanah, did he not have kavanah? And the Gemara there speaks about, well, he didn't say the brachos. If he's just like reading the Torah, the Gemara gets into brachos eina ma'akos. Rav Haigon zal kasav sidron eina ma'akev. Avol torach likros ishteihe. Rav Haigon says, no. The order of birchas Kriya Shema is not ma'akev. But of course, you have to say it, then you're not yotzei, unless you say the birchas Kriya Shema. Not yotzei, what does that mean? The Rabbanan. Okay, the Rabbanan told us how to fulfill this mitzvah. And if you don't do it this way, you're not yotzei. But what's so crucial about that? What's so crucial about these brachos? And finally, a fourth question. Avram, you had a question?
Are we viewing the brachos as the same thing as like Asher Kedishanu Misusavet Tzivanu?
Okay, let's go that right now. That's my next point. Thank you
for
transitioning me to my next question. Again, fourth question. Again, number one, why do you say it b'makam safek? Number two, why does the chinuch mention it? Number three, why does Rav Haigon say you're not yotzi without that? Number four, Avram's question. Why don't we have a regular birchas hamitzvah on Kriyat Shema? Right? Why don't we say, like we do before many mitzvos, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvos v'tzivanu l'kro et Shema, Shema Yisrael. Right? Why don't we have that? So, Rav Amram Gon, quoted in Rabbeinu Yonah, says, well, if there's ever a time that you're not saying Birchas Kriyat Shema, like, let's say you daven Ma'ariv early, you're just saying Shema, the Yotze the mitzvah before you go to bed. Says Rav Avram Gon, you say Asher Kedishanu b'mitzvos v'tzivanu l'kro et Shema. That's Rav Avram Gon, source number 9. Shebishah shekori oso yivarech l'kro Shema. And Rabbeinu Yonah says, what are you talking about? We never heard of such a bracha. Omer Mori Arav Shein Ze Nachon. The bracha Zula Matzino Bo'osan B'Shem Makom. We never find such a bracha. Nira Lo Sheyozer Nacha Shemer Ava. You can say Avas Olam. Ava Rabbi. You don't make a bracha. Most of the brachas that we say are in Shas. Most brachas that we say are in Shas. Just parenthetically, there are a few that are not in Shas, and they're somewhat controversial. Anybody know any brachas that we say that are not in Shas? Which brachas that we say are not in Shas?
No sin layav koach.
No sin layav koach. Beautiful. No sin layav koach is nowhere in Shas. There are some Tolim that don't say. What?
Kadesh Shimcha Barabim.
Kadesh Shimcha Barabim. Right. All of these are little questions. Baruch Shep Tarani. Me'on Shol Zeh. That's in a medrash, Agada, in Parshas Toldos. Machlokas Ramah and the Gra. Whether you say it with Shem Hashem. Right, the minhag is not Baruch Shem Tarani. We don't say it with Shem Hashem because not in Shas. Okay, so there are a few brachas that are not in Shas, but most of them are. So Rabbeinu Yonah says this one's not in Shas. Never heard of that one, and therefore we don't say it. But anyway, that's one opinion. Number one, we do have it. Number two, this I mentioned many times. I'm sure you've heard this from me before. The Nesivos. The Nesivos in the Hakdama, in the introduction to the Haggadah, Maisa Nisim, says, if Shechter loves to quote this Nesivos, maybe it was Rav Soloveitchik that liked to quote this Nesivos, that Chazal were never misakin a bracha on a mitzvah that is itself a bracha or is done in the context of a bracha. So, for example, Birchas HaMazon doesn't have a Birchas HaMitzvah. Right? You don't say Sheker Shana, L'Barach HaMazon, Bracha Hashem, because it is a bracha. You don't make a bracha before you daven. Davening is brachas. We don't make a bracha on Zechiras HaMalek because it's done in the Kriyat HaTorah, where you already have brachas. You don't make a bracha on Sibur Yitzias Mitzrayim because it already has Kiddush and Magid. It has brachas. So maybe here too. Kriyat Shema already has brachos for whatever reason, so you don't make a regular Birchas HaMitzvah. That just begs the question: why is it surrounded by these other brachos? Finally, the last and coolest answer is by the Abu Dram. The Abu Dram, one of the great Rishonim, Rav David Abu Dram. We have one sefer from the Abu Dram called the Abu Dram. As the Abu Dram, source 11. You know why you don't make a bracha on Kriya Shema? Because what's the purpose of a bracha? The purpose of a bracha is Kabbalas Malchus Shamayim. Before you do a physical act, you accept the yoke of heaven. Kabbalas Malchus Shamayim is the point of a bracha. That's exactly what Kriya Shema is. You don't have to make a bracha before you do Kriya Shema because the essence of Kriya Shema is Kabbalas Malchus Shamayim. You can make a bracha because you're usually Kabbalas Malchus Shamayim before you take a lulav. No, Kriya Shema is Kabbalas Malchus Shamayim. You don't need to do that beforehand. That's the essence of the bracha. And therefore, we don't have a separate bracha of Kabbalas Malchus Shamayim. But maybe there's something even deeper that's hinted to in this Abu Dram. And here we go to part 2. These were all questions. If we would have to categorize these brachos that we say, in the morning, 2 before, 1 after, at night, 2 before, 2 after, we would categorize them. We know the Rambam tells us, beginning of those brachos, there are 3 categories of brachos. 3 categories. Berchat Shelach V'Hodah, like Berchat HaMazon, Berchat HaMitzvah, before we do a mitzvah, Berchat HaNehanin, before we get pleasure. I think we can knock out number 3. This is not a Berchat HaNehanin. That's not what it is. We're not imbibing any pleasure. But what category is it out of the other 2? Berchat HaMitzvah, Berchat Shelach V'Hodah. So let's see some evidence. What happens if I woke up really late and I'm davening after the Zman of Kriya Shema? What's the halacha? What's the halacha if I'm davening really late? So what does the Gemara say? Brachas Daf Yud. Lo hifsid habrachas. Even if I miss Zman Kriya Shema, many shuls, I know it's hard to imagine, but many shuls in Chutz La'aretz daven Shabbos morning after the Zman Kriya Shema. And yet, right, you have to say Kriya Shema earlier. It's not so much the minhag in Eretz Yisrael. Not so much. It's very ironic that I'm mentioning this now, because we've never, in our shul, davened after the Zman Kriya Shema, because you always, if it gets earlier, we daven 8:30, but if it's earlier, we make davening earlier. This Shabbos might be the first time. Why? They just lowered the amount of people you're allowed to have in shul to 50 people. So in order to get enough people, men and women in the shul, whoever want, so we're adding on a minyan. So we're davening. We usually have a 6:45 and an 8:30. So we're having a 6:30, an 8, and a 9:30 to be able to fit everybody in. Again, davening at 9:30 is usually not the greatest, but it's either that or not going to shul for a lot of people. So we're putting out a thing and have some type of rotation. If you're in, everybody's going to want the 8 o'clock, but you're going to have to rotate. If you're in the 8 o'clock one week, you can't have it the next week. So you can choose. You can wake up and learn for 3 hours beforehand. I don't know what the problem is. It's a long day anyway. What, you get home at 11:30? It's like so crazy late, but it's just in people's minds. They can't, maybe not in the average teenager's minds. Like, what's so bad? Especially, I one time in my life, actually twice in my life, once for Shabbos, I was in Kfar Chabad for Shabbos. My Shana Aleph, I had a friend of mine in Yeshiva whose grandparents lived in Kfar Chabad. I've told you this already. His grandfather grew up in Vinsk. He played with Rogachover. Rogachover, would give him a lollipop. But I remember they said, davening's at 9 o'clock. Like, wow, okay, 9 o'clock. We went to shul at 9 o'clock. Davening starts with an hour of Tanya. So 9 to 10 was Tanya, and Brachas was at 10 o'clock. Brachas was at 10. Okay? It's their Masorah. But in any case, what are we talking about? So if somebody davens after the Zman, you can still say Berchos Kriya Shema. That's interesting. Think about that. You're not doing the mitzvah of Kriya Shema. And yet, you say Berchos Kriya Shema. Right? It's almost Chatzos. You woke up late. You're missing Zman Kriya Shema. But you could say Berchos Kriya Shema. Rosh has 2 days. Is that only until Chatzos or even the rest of the day? In terms of Berchos Kriya Shema. Okay, discussion. But either way, the fact that you could say it, even though you're not doing the mitzvah, clearly points to the fact that this is not a simple birchas ha-mitzvah. There is no mitzvah now. Maybe it's just a shevach v'hodah. It's purely a shevach v'hodah. Done in the context of a mitzvah? Maybe. But let's continue. Because the Rishonim here, sometimes you have to come up with a lumdus in the Achronim. Let the Rishonim say it. That was about after the Zman. Let's talk about before the Zman.
Rabbi.
Before the Zman. What do you mean before the Zman? The Rashba was asked, what if I'm davening Ma'ariv early? I'm davening Ma'ariv early before the Zman, before I can be Yotzei. Right? Let's say somebody makes early Shabbos. You can daven Ma'ariv, you cannot be Yotzei your mitzvah yet of Kriya Shema. You have to repeat it after it gets dark. Everybody says Birchas Kriya Shema, same thing. Same thing. Saying Birchas Kriya Shema, saying Birchas Kriya Shema before the Zman. Again, there are those Yechidei Skula that are makbenatu. But in general, people who daven the early Shabbos, you daven Ma'ariv. And you repeat Kriya Shema later. Again, the Rashba says it. The Rashba says it's okay. Lama Karnas Berchosea. The Rashba says in a tshuva, how can you say Berchos Kriya Shema? Dakati Lomata Zimne. Brinam Bishum Baltisa. Isn't it a bracha levatala? Says the Rashba. Al Tatama. The brachos shel Kriya Shema einon brachos shel Kriya Shema mamish. Kebirchas haTorah u kebirchas haMitzvos. It's not exactly Birchas HaMitzvah, says the Rashba. The Imkain, because if it was a Birchas HaMitzvah, how you learn to levarich l'kroat Shema, k'moch mevarchan al Kriyas HaTorah, b'al mikra Megillah, because it doesn't look. Why don't you have the regular lashon of a Birchas HaMitzvah? It must be. It's not a regular Birchas HaMitzvah. Ella brachos sheniskenu ifnei atzman. They're brachos that have some independent significance. Fascinating. Says the Rashba says they're separate brachos, but they're always said surrounding Kriya Shema. So they're not a run-of-the-mill. And what does he say? He doesn't say they're not a Birchas HaMitzvah. He says they're not a Birchas HaMitzvah mamish, which means it is somewhat of a Birchas HaMitzvah. It's just not perfectly. What's he driving at? Let's continue. We know there's a big controversy. Shulchan Aruch, Ramah, all the posts can get into the act. Are you supposed to say Amen at the bracha right before Kriya Shema? Right? Wherever you hear, people do different things. Right? The Shulchan Aruch says, no Amen. 17. Why? Mishum Tahave Hefsek. Hefsek? Really? If it's just a Bircha Shevach, what kind of Hefsek is it? The Mishnah Berurah quotes, because the Ramah says, look what I wrote later on in Siman Samach Aleph. There, the Ramah says, the Gam B'Birchas HaBocher, the Minhag L'Tzayin Kodem HaShas, Minhag is to say Amen. And the Mishnah Berurah says the best thing to do is to finish with the chazan, so you don't run into any sveikos, and that's the minute of many to say the last bracha right before Shema with the chazan. But what's the issue? If it's just shevach, there's no hefsek issue. Obviously, what do we see? It is a shemetz of a birchas ha-mitzvah, not totally independent. So what is it? Says the Meiri. Great Meiri. Yud Alpha Beis and Brachos. Says the Meiri, what happens if I'm on a desert island and I only know Shema by heart, not the Brachos? What's halacha? You say Shema. What if you're on a desert island and you found one page of a siddur? You don't know anything by heart. You found the page of the siddur of Birchas Kriya Shema, but not Kriya Shema, and you don't know Kriya Shema by heart. Do you say just the Brachos without Kriya Shema? Says the Rashba. Yes. So it says the Meiri, yes. Yes, why? This is the same thing as the Rashba before, but he adds. What does he say? Line 7, Elu brachos ikaran la'atzman niskenu. Rishon l'metzias Hashem bar l'shniya l'chiv Torah. Ella, sheme'achar sheniskenu yistum l'fnei shma. They have an independence to them. Chazal put them in front of Shema in order to also function as a Birkat HaMitzvah for Shema. If you they uprooted, like what Rav Amram said before, the regular bracha. And then he has an amazing comparison. When I saw this, I was so excited. Line 10. Bahari Hain, Kebirchos Malchios, Zichronos, Shofros. Shein brachas la'atzman, vein machmas is a tkiyas, lo tkiyas ma'akvos otzon, ela achar shizkur yisroleim birchas shofar, kolachas l'simen echad. Miri compares birchas kriyat shema to Malchios, Zichronos, and Shofros. I think we would all agree. And Malchios, Zichronos, and Shofros have independent significance, but they're connected to the shofar blowing as well. They wear two hats. Malchios, Zichronos, and Shofros, and part of the mitzvah of shofar. That's exactly what seems to be. That's exactly what's going on here with Birchas Kriyat Shema. They serve two functions. They are both a separate entity. They're also part and parcel of the kiyum of Kriyat Shema and a bracha leading up to Kriyat Shema. Says Reb Soloveitchik. Getting back to the suffix issue. Why is it that by all other mitzvahs, after you do if you don't remember if you did the mitzvah or not, you do the mitzvah without the bracha. Kriyat Shema, you have to do the bracha as well. Because by Birchas Kriyat Shema, it's not just a regular Birchas HaMitzvah. It's separate. It has its own identity, and Chazal fixed that identity in Kriyat Shema itself. And it's one kiyum. It's not a regular Birchas HaMitzvah, which is just, as we discussed this in other shiurim. It's matu you to do the mitzvah. It's a separate idea. No. Birchas Kriyat Shema, says the Rav, Mahav chelek mikiyum Kriyat Shema. Below birech lo kiyum mitzvahs Kriyat Shema b'shlemusa. But if you didn't make a Birchas Kriyat Shema, you're missing an element. But Chazal took this, let me just write this, right, took this added element and it fixed it to Kriyat Shema itself. And it became one unit. So it has its own theme, yes. When you say it together, it's both a Birchas HaMitzvah and its messages b'fnei atzman as well. One more step, part 3. How does it serve this dual function? How does it have its own identity and yet serve as a Birchas HaMitzvah for Kriyat Shema? So I think one could suggest, but what's Shema about? We know. We mentioned before. What does the Mishnah say? Brachas Yud Gimel, Amar Yeshua ben Karcha. Lama Kadma Parshat Shema Lohayim Shemoah. What's Shema about? Kabbalas Malchus Shemayim, Kabbalas Mitzvahs. Kabbalas Malchus Shemayim. That's what Shema is about. How do we get ready for that? How do we get ready to connect with God? How do we get ready to be Makabal Malchus Shemayim? To connect. Right? The Sefer Chinuch says, source 22, Hashem does us a chesed. He gives us the opportunity to connect with Him twice a day. Kabbalas Malchus Shemayim. Then how do we do that? If you think about the content of the Birchas Kriyat Shema, we run through it in the morning and night. What's the first bracha about Birchas Kriyat Shema? All about nature. All about the sun and the moon, stars. Amir la'aretz. And at night, Ma'ariv haravim b'chachma pozachor v'tzurim b'shani itim. All about nature. What's the second bracha about? One word? Torah. Avarabba, avatz olam, Torah, mitzvot, chukim, mishpatim. What are the two ways that we connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? What are the two strategies that the Rambam himself gives us to be able to connect to Hashem? The Rambam in Hilchos Yisod HaTorah, Beis, we quoted this 10 times this year in the Wednesday night shiurim. Says the Rambam in Hilchos Yisod HaTorah. So how do you come to Avas Hashem and Yiras Hashem? You know what? Open your eyes and look at the world. When you see God's amazing world, the Yira Mehen Bachmatzo, I went to visit my parents today in Yerushalayim. On my way back, I was driving back right by a Shkia, right in front of me. You see the sun, unbelievable sunset, unbelievable. You see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Open your eyes to the world. You are Ohevu Mishabeach U'Mefayer. Wow, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is awesome. That's one way you can connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, says the Rambam. What's the other way? Rambam Menuchos in Sefer HaMitzvos. Avas Hashem brought through learning Torah. Learning Torah. This is a list of God's likes and dislikes. The more we know, the closer we get to Him. Maybe the best way to get ready for Kabbalas al Malchus Shamayim is to review the two strategies that we know bring us to a connection and a recognition of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They're important themselves, right? Berachas Kriya Shema has independence, but when you say it with Kriya Shema, it becomes one unit, it becomes one theme. And maybe that's the message. When we say every morning, I'm not talking about the brachas afterwards right now, but when we say every morning, the bracha, Yotzer Or, Yotzer Amaoros, and then Torah, Ava Rabba, Lil Modulami, Lish Ravalasos, and at night the same thing. That's the best way to get ready for Kabbalas Malchus Shamayim. But those are the strategies how we get close to HaKadosh Baruch. Again, davening is one of the avodas, one of the three pillars of the world. We spend, think about it, right? We're in yeshiva now. How many hours a day do we spend on Torah? Many. How many hours do we spend on tefillah? Not too many, right? But we have to, at least a little more time. We have to figure out a way to spend more time. Again, the Shulchan Aruch says, say less with kavana and more without kavana. One of my Rebbeim used to get to shul earlier, and he basically started after Baruch Hu in the middle of Sukkot Zimra. When the tzibur was at the Ashrei, he started because he knew he wasn't going to make it. And he got the Yotzer Ma'oros when they got the Baruch Hu, and you time it. Whatever it has to be done. Because there's so much of davening. This is just a little bit to help us appreciate it. You're at some that this little discussion to help give us a little invigoration for this part of davening, but to recognize all parts of davening are special and unique and meant to accomplish something and influence us. And the more we focus on it, the better it will be for us, and the more davening will change us as people.